been a while since I've put out a video. I had several things going on that I just wasn't able to get out and, you know, do anything that I could capture. But I do now have enough material, I think, for 3 more videos. I just have to get them edited. Just wanted to go through the changes that I've made to the Oliver, some of the modifications. Really not anything compared to what I've seen out there that people can do. But I just wanted to sort of give you up to date on a few of the little tweaks and mods that I've done here in my Oliver. So one of the things that I've added up front is this thing called moose ears from Seabiscuit Metal Designs. And the nice thing about it is you can hook your weight distribution hitch and your chains and everything on it, and you can drive with it like that. So what I will do, I'll get to my campground, I'll get the truck and the camper lined up in a line, and then I'll unhook this, hook it on the moose ears, and then I can park and not have to worry about lining up the weight distribution hitch when I when I get ready to hook it back up to the truck. Another little source of problem here is this trim, and it goes around the window up to this part. So if you can pull that out, you have to clean down in the window. But you can see the profile there of the plastic, and it's white and it gets very discolored. I've actually cleaned this when I just put it back in. That's an issue. But I found the source for getting these in black color, so I think I may replace these with black ones, the black trim. So that's what I'm planning on getting for all the other side windows. 18 feet of it apparently will cover those windows. And on the exterior, I've got this little doormat, and it's connected with springs on the bottom. So once I fold it up and stow away the stairs, it's fine in there. So it gets the bulk of the sand and dirt off, and then once you go in, I have a doormat kind of thing there, a little rug, and I usually leave my shoes. I'll wipe them here and then take my shoes off. I haven't done much with the closet. Just got miscellaneous junk stored around. I've got a cardboard box to hold spray bottles that don't want them to tip over. I did put this shoe holder on the inside of the door, and also on the outside of the door I put this broom holder, so you can just pop it off, sweep, pop it back on again. And the reason that I did that was the broom is something you just need so often in the Oliver. You know, any dirt or dust or sand you get in here, it's easy to do, but just I think having it hanging like that is good for me. You know, it doesn't interfere with the operation of the door or anything like that, so pretty good. And then of course over here I've got another one of those shoe holders, and then I've got these vacuum hooks as well. So I'm just showing this. This is my travel configuration for the bathroom. There's a few changes that I've made in here. I usually carry one of these containers of water, so I'll have that kind of tucked in behind this. This is my Yeti cooler, and I normally only ever use that for ice. So I just put ice in there. I keep it clean for drinking ice, and I don't put any kind of food or anything in there with it. I just keep the ice when I'm camping, and then I'll let the water out as it starts to melt, which is a good tip. If you want to preserve your ice, always drain that melted water out. And those two tuck in nicely so that, you know, as I'm going down the road there, you know, most of the force from a trailer is things want to move forward, because that's when you apply the brakes. Some other things that I've done in here, I've replaced the standard faucet. This faucet is nice. It fits the holder from Oliver version that they put in them, and the, you know, the fitting here goes in. It has a little O-ring there, so that fits nice. But the nicest thing to me about this, first, it's all it's not no plastic, it's all stainless steel, and it has a button so I can turn on and turn off the water. And the reason that's important is if you set your water temperature with one of these uni handles, you know, that I'm not real fond of, but that's what it is, and you get your water temperature set the way you want it, you know, normally you turn the water on and off and on and off a lot when you're taking a you know, a Navy bath. So having that button on there just lets you stop the water but not have to touch the temperature control. Another thing I do is I keep this bucket down here, and what I use that for is when I turn on my heater, Truma AquaGo, it has to push all that cold water that's in the pipe out of the way before the hot water will start coming out. So rather than just putting it directly into my gray tank, instead I pour it into that bucket, and I just let the bucket sit there, and then when I go to the toilet, I can use the bucket and add it into the black tank and have less you know, less usage of wastage, I guess, of that water. And ultimately it winds up in your black tank instead of your gray tank. That's about all I've done in here. You know, I've got a little squeegee there that I use to clean the walls, which is really quick. This is the, I guess, medicine cabinet, which is a mess. I need to get all that stuff out of there and get it organized. So just a couple of changes here in the sink. I've added this little plastic piece, silicone piece that will drain off and gives me a place to put my sponge and stuff. I also got this, which is an insert that has very much smaller holes, and I think that'll be good if I am rinsing things out and I can catch any kind of food in a tighter filter. I can, you know, throw that in the trash instead of putting it into the gray tank. Another thing I got was this mat for the bottom, and you know, I don't know, I went to TJ Maxx and got all these pieces and that piece, so I don't know, we'll see. So under the curbside starboard bed, I've got this Froley system, which is gives you an air gap and also gives you a little spring action. So that's underneath on the bottom, and then for my mattress I'm using this, and this is a Japanese shiki futon. It's all cotton, there's no foam in there, it's all just a cotton batting. I like it. It's a little bit stiffer of a mattress, and you know, it requires a little bit of care to, you know, shuffle it around and so the cotton batting won't bunch up. But I like this bed. I will put a mattress pad down and then sheets over that, the mattress pad, just in case there's spills or things that, you know, I don't want it just to damage the shiki futon. So when I ordered this mattress, I also discovered that this is called a twin bed, but it's not actually a twin bed. This size is actually called cot size. So it's and it's a narrow bed for sure. In some ways, I kind of thought maybe I would have preferred the bed, the king bed, but I don't know. I get a good night's sleep here. I'm usually pretty comfortable with it. I did, you know, put this vacuum suction towel dispenser and rack on there. That's really nice. A really strong connection there. And I put pictures up here. On this side, I got this idea from Cleo and Paula. I have attached my various remote controls. So I have a Sony DVD player, the TV itself, and then my Apple TV. And they're all just stuck on there with Velcro. And all I do when I'm done with them, and I just pop them back up there. But the thing is that a lot of times you don't even need to take them down. You can just, if I'm sitting right here watching TV, I can just poke the buttons from without having to take them off the connector there. Back here I have a plant that's made of plastic, and it's permanently stuck down so it never moves. Up here on the top I have a fan that I installed. This is a Sirocco II fan. They're used in boats a lot, but you know, they really articulate around and let you adjust it wherever you want. It has 3 speeds, and it's also got a timer, so if you wanted to set it and have it turn off later, that would do that. I really had a kind of a tough time deciding how to attach this. It has a base plate that you have to attach, and then the fan itself just screws into the base plate. But I had to drill a hole, and believe me, that was tough to do. I mean, it wasn't hard to drill a hole, it was just scary to do that. I put that up there and I attached it with Velcro, and the Velcro just didn't work. It got warm in here and it just started to fail at the connection. Now, this was not just regular Velcro. This was ultra high bond fastener. I don't know what it's called, but basically it's an adhesive, and that adhesive was just peeling off. So I went ahead and drilled 2 more holes in the Oliver, and I riveted the base plate to the fiberglass. So it's on there sturdy now, not going anywhere. That's added a lot of ability for circulation and that sort of thing in the Oliver. I keep a couple of blankets over here on this side. This is my couch area. I've got a little writing desk, a cushion, yoga mat, chair, a little small backpacking chair. Also up here, this is the attic area, and this I've done a few things to. First, there is a Wi-Fi booster that will connect to these strips up here. I don't have it in here right now. Of course, that's the built-in surge protector. But I also have up here a Sony 4K DVD Blu-ray player. I've got an Apple TV. I've got a hotspot signal booster internal antenna. I've got a power strip, a small power strip that lets me not only plug in the TV, but also plug in the DVD player and the Apple TV. Also, there's this 12-volt adapter that has this switch on it, so I can switch different things. I've got a connection for CPAP, one for the cell booster, and this one down here is wired to the fan. And that I just have that wire running behind this to attach to that Sirocco fan. What I've got over here is a switch. It's intended to be able to switch between 2 sources, so I can switch between the Apple TV and the DVD player. But I'm having a little trouble with that. I'm not sure what that is. As far as the upper, I've got these plastic containers. My coffee stuff goes in there. It's in the house right now. And I'm not utilizing this space very well because I've got a bunch of these empty containers, but I'm going to be reorganizing all this. Got a old school coffee pot there. But another thing I did was along the inside edge of this cabinet, or all the cabinets, I put this stripping, and this is like door edge stripping that you might put on your car. to prevent, you know, dings. That makes the inside edge of this a lot smoother and not as scratchy. I've also put in my drawers down in the kitchen area, I have put in this shelf liner. This is a thick kind of foam shelf liner. I've put that in all these drawers, and I've also put them in the pantry area. And even though the pantry, you know, has no shelves, they're just wire, it works fine like that. And I've also gone with these containers that help to kind of keep things a little organized. Things that could spill that I don't want to have to clean up go in this, so like oil, and I've also got spices in there, that sort of thing. I keep a jug of distilled water in here, that's for the CPAP. Have some things that are sort of like emergency meals, you know. I've got some like ready to heat up and eat, chickpeas and rice and that sort of thing. I usually keep my lightest things up here, chips and that sort of thing. And oh, I didn't take out my wedding cookies. That's working out well with the pantry. Here on the sides of the shower is where I'm trying to build like a little picture collage thing. And so what I have done, I've got some of these bigger photos that are mounted on this foam core board that I ordered from, I think it's National Camera, something like that. And I like these. These are just regular photos that I printed with my little printer. But I'd like to get some more of these foam backed ones for filling in and, you know, going up. I stuck my sticker up there. If I started spending more time, 2 weeks or more, you know, away, I would probably reorganize quite a bit. But it's very easy to use my truck as storage, and then you know, use my storage in here just for the things that, you know, like cooking utensils and things that I'm never taking out of here. They just stay in here all the time. It suits my needs the way it is right now, because I'm usually only staying out a few days at a time. Well, that's going to wrap up this review of the Oliver. I hope we'll have some more content out real soon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.